Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Inconsequential Runner, and we often talk about shoe rotations. And what I want to do is just talk a little bit about the shoe rotation that I seem to be living and breathing off at the moment and really, really enjoying. And that is this with now the new Essex. Well, I say new, it's been around for a little while now, hasn't it? The Essex Nova Blast 5. With that, coupled with the Super Blast 2, these two shoes together are taking care of 95% of my kilometers, unless I go for a trail run that week, and then we're getting closer to 80%. But I've got two Super Blast 2s, I've got two Nova Blast 5s, which means I can alternate them if I want to run back to back in the Nova Blast or the Super Blast. I can go to the other pair. So those four pairs of shoes have taken care of a huge percentage of my running. I just love them. If I'm doing something a little bit faster, maybe catching up with the club members and doing intervals, the Super Blast 2 comes into play. Easy to run there, easy to run back, and easy to do the intervals in while I'm there at the track. With the Nova Blast 5, just so versatile. Anything from my easy, short recovery runs through to even a moderate long run. This will do your moderate long runs. They have a massive overlap, but where the Nova Blast complements the Super Blast is a little bit slower in a good way. So engineered to just take it a little bit easier on your legs, and so then takes care of that end where you're looking at doing your easy run. So look, I can't speak more highly. Now, I know that there is a lot of chat about these shoes, the Essex Nova Blast 5, starting to lose some of their life at about the 200 to 300k mark. These I'm into 300Ks in. As to my white pair of Nova Blast 5s, I haven't noticed any difference. In terms of my metrics, I'm just on 6 foot tall, or at least I was in my 40s. Maybe, maybe I've lost a quarter of an inch since then. I usually sit between 72 and 76 kilos. And yeah, so I'd say I was a medium weight, maybe runner. So if there's a school of thought that the heavier runners will go through these shoes faster, maybe there's something in that. But what I can say is they are feeling good. These Super Blast 2s, this specific pair, I've just almost got up to 1,000 kilometers in, and they feel as good as the day I bought them. Now, have they changed over the 1,000 Ks? Yeah, they probably have, but I haven't noticed the difference, and they feel great. Zero hesitation to pop those on. So my shoe rotation, which used to be a huge amount of shoes, has really whittled down because I find two pairs of Super Blasts and two pairs of Nova Blast take care of pretty much all of my road miles outside of a raw, basically a race. So then I'd put on a pair of race shoes for that. So, which happens at the moment to be either the Vaporfly 3 or the Asics Metaspeed Paris. So, yeah, that's it. Just can't rave about these shoes enough. What I have, and the reason why I've specifically got this pair in hand, is because I tend to just scuff the lateral side of my left heel. So that's the point on both of the outsoles that wears the most. And that is this point here. So you can see with 1,000 kilometers, it is worn down, but there's still some outsole there. It is not yet chewing into the midsole. Or maybe I say that, and it is just with the exposed midsole, just a little, but not enough. Not enough for me to say that these shoes are cooked, that they are done. They are not. There is way more life in these. I will take these as far as I possibly can, and then I will report back at the end of life shoe review, which I like to do. And that's it. Look, so what can I tell you? Is there a big difference between the Super Blast 1 and 2? I'd say there's a moderate difference, but they are so similar that you won't that if you like the Super Blast 1, you'll like the Super Blast 2. Who knows what's coming in the Super Blast 3? But I didn't try the Nova Blast 4. I jumped from the Nova Blast 3 to the Nova Blast 5. Massive differences in terms of the Nova Blast 5, much softer through the midsole, and the outsole. Those of you that had the Nova Blast 3, you will know that thing was slippery as anything in that outsole, unless you are on dry concrete, and it was super dry. Anything else, especially anything with a little bit of dampness, and it was super slippery. Nova Blast 5, none of those issues. Very different feeling shoe. So if you liked the Nova Blast 3 or you didn't, consider trying the Nova Blast 5 to find the differences. Try them on in shot. You will know the difference. Yeah, it's so noticeable. You'll feel it on foot in shot. That's it. That's it. Why am I sharing this? If you like me, I just had too many pairs of shoes. Way too many. Way too many. And then the problem is when you've got too many pairs of shoes, you don't get your 1,000 or whatever their life is, 800 for some shoes, 600. You don't get to the end of life because you've got so many other shoes you're rotating through. So you might get sick of a shoe or you might fall out of love with the shoe and you've only got 200 or 300 Ks in it. I didn't want to do that. I have taken all my shoes to end of life, but my rotations were just too wide, too big. And what I have found is with the Super Blast 2 and the Nova Blast 5, that takes care of everything on the road outside of a pair of race shoes. That's all I need. And both the Super Blast 2 and the Nova Blast 5 are unplated. So when I jump into my plated racing shoe, whether that be the Metaspeed or the Vaporfly 3, feels good. That little bit of extra pep. That's it. Just wanted to share that with the Super Blast 2 and the Nova Blast 5. If you have any questions, it's not a full in-depth shoe review, but it's talking about rotation. But if you have any questions I can help you with, throw them in the comments below and I'll answer them. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy your next run. See you out there. Bye.